Yo, Kpaceguy here. Quick video, and we're gonna get right into it. But first, let me say, if you haven't watched the Bose Lifestyle 650 movie demo and overview, watch that video before watching this one, because this one is going to be a follow-up to that. I went into Bose and I had a chance to listen to. They had a home theater system of their I guess their flagship of all their models. They had a 5.1 system set up for me to listen to and give me a movie demo, and I shared that with you guys. And then one of the customer assistants, he walked me through some of the specs and features of the Bose system that I listened to, as well as allowed me to ask him any questions that I wanted to, and he answered them pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys an overview of my initial feelings, thoughts, my overview, my review of the system, because you guys, although you got to hear it, it sounds different to you than to me, because I was there, I don't know what you're listening on, and I recorded it on my phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what my ears heard. So the first thing I want to say is it sounded really good. It sounded really good. But for $4,000, really good isn't good enough. He made really good points about it being small, and that kind of sound and that kind of package, you can't deny that. You guys have seen my home theater. I have these giant tower speakers that stand 40-something inches tall, and then I have speakers all around the room, and then center channel underneath the TV, and it's pretty clunky for the average person. And the wife acceptance factor, we call it the WAF, the wife acceptance factor. Not too many wives want to have giant blocks of wood in the living room, but some do, or some don't mind when they look nice. But with Bose, what they're aiming for is big sound in a small package, that's been their name since they've been a brand, you know. But with the Lifestyle 650, Bose Lifestyle 650, it's a 5.1 configuration. All speakers are wireless. So if you go back and look at that video, you had your left, right, you have a center, and then they had theirs mounted on the ceiling. Two small speakers are mounted. Also had the option to mount all the speakers that way. You had this wall bracket, a ceiling bracket, and they are small, $99 per pair floor standers, or speaker satellite towers, the little stands they can sit on for your satellites, for speaker satellites. They had that, but they had theirs configured in the 5.1, which is the most you can do. You cannot do 7.1, you can't do DTS, you can't do Atmos. It's 5.1. So who they're aiming for is the person who wants really good sound, a step above a sound bar, but doesn't want to go out and get a giant receiver with a giant subwoofer, with a giant center channel, with a giant set of towers, or big bookshelves with speaker stands. They didn't want that. It sounded really, really good. The two things that stuck out to me most about this is, one, the center channel. It was really hard for me to hear the vocals, and I think it's gonna be more for reason number two than number one, but I'll wait for that. It was hard for me to understand vocals. Honestly, they have theirs configured to the space, and he says that small system can fill a large room, and the venue that I was in was rather large. It was probably, I'm not even gonna guess, it was rather large. It was rather large. You can kind of see in the video how big it is, and the ceilings were probably about, I don't know, 10 feet, not very tall. But I had trouble hearing vocals, and I wasn't far. I had a wide angle lens on it, but I was standing maybe 7-8 feet away, and I had trouble hearing it. You did not have a problem hearing your effects at all. The action part of it, I didn't have a problem obviously hearing that, and I heard the subwoofer just fine. But as far as the dialogue, I didn't hear. It was hard. It was muddy. It was hard for me to really tell what was being said. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to reason number two, because it kind of explains reason number one. Reason number two is that subwoofer. It was a 10-inch. I had guessed it earlier. It was a 10-inch subwoofer. It actually sounded pretty good for the size it was, but it's sealed, I believe. Which I don't know if you really want a sealed sub at that size, but it was sealed. It was probably, I don't know, maybe 40-45 pounds. Really good quality as far as like construction. It was glass, so it was a receiver, it was glass. But the subwoofer sounded really muddy. and it was crossover really, really high. It had a high crossover, and that's why I couldn't really hear the vocals of the center channel when people were talking, because usually they say when you have a subwoofer, you can tell it's too high, but you can tell where it's coming from. If you can tell where your subwoofer is in the room when you close your eyes, it's over here. It's too loud. When somebody's talking dialogue-wise, and you have like a really, more for men, like male voice, even female voices, when you're talking or there's a dialogue on the screen and you hear the you don't want the subwoofer to be growling at you. Now, there are times when like you have a monster, kind of like in that movie, you have a monster, whatever, and they have that really low raspy voice, and it's kind of low frequency already, and so the subwoofer's kind of picking it up. But that subwoofer was it was crossed over so high, and they said they had it calibrated perfectly to your room. And we all know calibration doesn't always get anything right, but the fact that they're letting their listeners listen to a poorly crossed over or poorly, what do I want to call it, poorly calibrated system, it's not good. That was my, as soon as I heard the movie, that was my biggest takeaway from it, is how high that crossover was. It was making the vocals sound terrible. But they have it crossed over so high. This is gonna be my third reason. They have it crossed over so high because those little satellite speakers that you guys saw on the left, right, and then the bottom of the TV, they can only play so low. You're gonna have to have a high crossover. Again, they are wireless. I don't know how far you can move them. So I should have asked that. I don't know if he said it or not, but since he did say they're able to be played in the big room, you're gonna have to put these pretty far apart. I don't know if wireless range comes to an effect or not. I will never know. I'm never gonna get one of those systems. I can probably go ask and maybe update it one day. Or maybe I can put the specs up. If I can find it, I'll put a picture here. It's a orange screen that says how far the wireless connectivity is. But what really got me was the bass. It was highly crossed over, and it wasn't very low. There was times where I felt like I was supposed to be feeling the bass. I was supposed to be feeling the rumble. And I have a 10-inch SVS in the room, and I felt the ground shake, and I've listened to the walls rattle. That subwoofer's not doing it, and it's 10 inches as well. It does very good. If I had to guess the frequency response to that subwoofer, I would say 250 down to 37. Not very low. My towers go to like 24. So I mean, it's not good, but I don't want to discourage anybody from getting it, because for what it is, it's phenomenal actually. I was actually surprised of the sound. I did get to listen to music on it. I tried to make a video of that, but I had copyright issues, so I wasn't able to put that one up. But I did listen to a little bit of music on it, and music didn't sound very good. Although I listened to music on a different setup, same system. They had a couch and they had a big TV, and I was much more enclosed, whatever. And it was crossed over differently because it was in a different part of the room. So that actually sounded pretty decent. I was actually surprised with it. The bass was pretty good, but they didn't have any like heavy bass music. It was more like maybe like classical, maybe like a jazzy kind of feel, so you don't really need a lot of low end, and it kind of excelled in that. Vocals was pretty good out of the center channel in that. I was actually really, really impressed. If you close your eyes and you listen to it, you'd probably think you're listening to high quality bookshelves, so that's really good. But again, this is retails for $4,000 before tax. So you're paying for a lot, you hope to get a lot from it. Once again, the build quality is phenomenal. Metal glass on the subwoofer, metal glass combination on the receiver. I forgot what he said about the speaker, but it's in the video. Make sure you guys check that out. But really, it's a good system. It's a really good system. And a lot of people in the comment section are saying $4,000 for that small package. You can get a lot more for $4,000. But that's the thing. You're not getting that small for $4,000. You're just not gonna get it. That's probably the best thing you can get for $4,000 if you're looking for something small. If you don't want a sound bar, that's the way to go. If you have money. So the people who really would go towards Bose, if they had the money, it would be for a small package. But paying that much for a small package is kind of crazy. Because people who want a small package aren't necessarily looking for big sound, because big sound usually is associated with big speakers. And people who are looking for small sound aren't really looking for sound quality, because they know that usually in a small package there's not that much sound quality. Looking for a little upgrade, don't want a sound bar, a little bit more than a sound bar. But then again, you're gonna get big sound from this small package. But at $4,000, do you really want to go that route? You might as well get big speakers and go off with those. I did like it. It was awesome. It was really, really cool though. I really enjoyed hearing it because, in my opinion, when Bose back in the day, 10, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, their materials was terrible. They used to put 4-inch drivers and everything, paper cone, and put their speakers so you pointed one way, this one way, and it bounced off, and that's how they gave you surround sound. But they're finally kind of keeping up with technology. There was 4K, there was some pass through, there was, I don't know if there's ARC, I don't think there was any of that, audio return channel, I don't know if there's that. But he gave a list of things that it does in the video, so make sure you check that out so you guys know, don't miss out on anything. But it was good, it was really good. I just don't know if I can justify getting it. I did tell him that I have 2 PV4000s that cost $2,000 a piece. So for that whole system, I got 2 PV4000. So at the same time, it's like, okay, you're getting 5.1, pretty good sound at a, it's not an eyesore, but you're not gonna ever get PV4000 bass out of that. They're just never gonna get it. So I'm spending $2,000 and I'm getting some top-notch equipment. My speakers, I got two towers here for $2,500. I actually got a really good deal on it. Ended up getting these for just a little less than $3,000. And they sound phenomenal. They get low on their own. They look good. You know, the whole thing. I can use it for multiple applications, whether it's music or movies. So it's up in the air, honestly. If Bose's 650 is justifiable, the price, I'm not sure. It's really, I'm sure in the comments I'm gonna get, no, it's not good, it's too much, or I'm gonna get, no, look at the size. For $4,000 you're getting a 5.1 system with great build quality. And you're right if you think it's too much, and you're right if you think it's not. It's up in the air. It's kind of just personal preference. What kind of house are you in? What kind of living space will you be using that system in? For me personally, I won't ever get it because I just like having big speakers. I just like having it. You look at my system and you know that you're in for some good stuff. But at the same time, being discreet and having big sound, you're like, whoa, what? That little thing's making that? That's just as cool as having big speakers. Like, you expect big speakers to sound big, but you don't always expect small speakers to sound big. So Bose is on to something. I'm actually really excited for Bose because I don't hate Bose. I actually kind of wanted Bose when I was younger, and I kind of pieced some Bose into my system in some of my other videos. I like Bose. I like what they try to do. Their technology is really, really good. But I've always thought they were pretty expensive. So it's really up in the air. I will never have Bose because I just like big speakers. I like sound. I like piecing my stuff together and making it my own, like my own. I can pick my finish. They had like a white, a silver, and a black. Have you ever seen like a refrigerator or something like that, like a stainless steel? They kind of have that, stainless steel, black stainless steel, white glass top. If you ever seen any appliances like that, it kind of has that color, just to give you guys a color reference. But again, I'm always going to stick with piecing my system together, because if one thing breaks, I can get another one or fix it, and I can always make it my own. I can tune it to how I want it. I can pick the receiver I want, or not have a receiver. I can have an AV processor. I can have separates, so I can power my speakers with the power that I want them to have. I can tune it the way that I want it to be tuned. I can turn off all of the tuning if I want to. I don't think you can turn off Bose's calibration. I think you have to run calibration, which is at least good, because a lot of the stuff that Bose had didn't have calibration at all. You kind of just open the box and put it in your room, and that's what you had. But now they're using mics like everybody else is doing now, so you can. I was very surprised that he told me that they do have calibration systems, so that's really, really cool. But I just want to give you a semi-quick overview / opinion of it, because you guys can't hear it the way I can hear it. But if you have a chance to hear it, go hear it. They have a lot of other things, like some sound bars. They have some Bluetooth speakers, a lot of Bluetooth speakers. They have like 9 different kinds of Bluetooth speakers. Why do you need 9? They're pretty expensive as well, but they sound pretty good for their size. That's Bose's name. So don't hate on Bose too much, because I don't hate Bose. I know I made a video about why audiophiles hate Bose. I'm not one of those people who hate Bose. I don't really hate anything. But I will always be a big speaker kind of person, piece my speakers together, get my speaker stands. You know, it's really it feels good inside to get a new product and, you know, unbox it and listen to it, and then I don't like this, and you turn it this way, it sounds better, and then you calibrate it and then it sounds terrible, so you rerun calibration. Like, that kind of stuff is fun. You tweak it to make it your own. It's unique to you. I know a lot of people who watch my videos have some of the same equipment that I do, and we get totally different results. We have a totally different sound stage, and it's cool because you may have my whole Polk system. I know a couple of you guys do have my whole Polk system. You get run on an amp, sounds good. But you have a totally different setup than I do, different crossovers. You have your bass turned down lower than I do, or maybe you have it higher, your volume levels run lower, you have powerful amp, or maybe just 50 watts per channel, and it just sounds different. Same speaker, but it's your taste, and that's what I like. So, although Bose is, you know, still kind of behind as far as customability and things like that, they are not far from it. They're doing their thing. Build quality is phenomenal. It looks good. It's minimalistic. If you're a person who needs a big sound but doesn't have a lot of space, lives in an apartment, maybe the wife is really picky, that's for you if you have $4,000 to throw away on it. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Just wanted to give you my personal opinion on the Bose Lifestyle 650. Pretty good system. A little bit of flaws. I don't know if he said in the video or after the video, but he did tell me that they're not the best. So they know that they're not, you know, they can't compete with the big speaker. They can't, you just can't. You want big sound, big speaker. But they're trying to appeal to a certain market. So if that market is you, the 650 is really, really good if you have that money to spend on it. If not, there are some big speakers that sound good for $199, $299, $399, that have a better frequency range, have a good build quality, things like that. So, but that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and subscribe, and subscribe. I can see who's not subscribed and who is subscribed. Like 87% of my viewers are not subscribed, so what are you doing? What are you doing? Why aren't you subscribed? The button is right here on your screen. Click it. Make sure you push that bell to get notified when new videos are up. And I'm going to make a new video soon this week announcing the winner of my Subwoofer PL200 from Kpaceguy. If you enter to win it, you're going to be announced if you win. So make sure you're watching my videos because I'm going to post it later on this week to see who you won. Get your email address or something to contact you with, and let's get you that subwoofer. So make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing on the videos so you don't miss out on when I make that video. Alright guys, so take care, and Kpaceguy, he's out. Peace.